How are we doing today, man? Today is one of them days where you can really feel the progress that you're making trading. And why do I say that? I say that because today is one of those days where I distinctly started watching the charts and I was wrong bias, right? And sue me, right? Coming to the day, I had a bullish bias. Sue me. Why would you think I had a bullish bias? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because we're at all-time highs. Maybe because we've only been going straight up for the last 20 hours or however long. Maybe because this is what we look like on the charts, right? So I came in with the wrong bias, right? Because I'm not going to come into the morning and say, oh yeah, I'm very bearish today. I'm very bearish. I just, with no prior information, no insider information on the markets, just no reason at all. Market open. Where did market open, right? Let's see. Market open right here. Market opened at 929. This is the next candle. Market opened at literal all-time highs. So there is no chance on earth I'm ever going to come into the day and say, you know what? I'm really bearish today. Actually, I'm really bearish. Because guess what? If you do that enough times, you are just going to lose everything chasing after a unicorn, right? Because why? Why would you ever be bearish coming into the day? Not after price action starts developing. That's the difference, right? So coming into the day, I had the wrong bias because there was no possible reason for me to be bearish because we're at all-time highs. We've just been moving up. We're moving up and up and up and up. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I know something nobody else. I'm not, Jerome Powell. I don't have influence over the market. So I'm not going to come into the day at all-time high open and say, yeah, we're due for a pullback. We're due for a pullback. And I also wasn't just going to say, hey, yeah, we're good to go long. So today was one of those days where I was like, I'm probably not trading. We have some good news tomorrow coming out. But I want to go over what I was thinking and why, or learning from previous days and what that looks like. So I started realizing early on, right? We have, I want to show you guys here. We have London right here. And Asia, we haven't swept any lows, and we're opening up here, right? So this is all-time highs. There's nothing to the left of us. We're in space. We have nothing to the left of us to trade off of. We have the new day opening gap right here that we bounced off of once and then delivered higher, so we're above new day price with only lows below us, right? Notice how we sweep Asia low, and we get a decent reaction back up. That's not a coincidence, in my opinion. So what am I looking at going into this day? So we have these session lows below us. Now what's kind of like the idea here? Well, we could just keep going higher. Again, I came into the day bullish because I'm not going to just say, hey, I'm shorting, right? Was it the craziest idea ever that we're going to have a pullback? No, it made a lot of sense. But this was the key, and why I say this reminds me very much of a specific day, and why that's so important is because this is how you become a better trader. You use previous experience to learn. And I think now the draw on liquidity is very easy for me to say this. Not this level right here, 30-minute gap. It would make no sense to not get up there. And this is a very bullish reaction. I think that we're going to continue bullish the rest of the day. Right? This is a very clear target. Let's see. That's a really nice flag. I'm going to take that on paper. We're going to take that on paper.
Order filled.
So where would our stop loss be? It would be underneath this swing low. And our take profit would be above these highs. So not really a one-to-one. We'll go this fair value gap right there. So one-to-one exactly, right? This is a nice trade. But anyways, so what was the idea for the day, right? The idea is I'm not going to long until I get some clear reason, right? We see some lows to do something, and I'm not going to short until we get some clear reason. So I made a video on TikTok about this, about how in hindsight there were some pretty obvious trades, right? One of them being this. When this candle came in, were we ever going to go back higher before going lower? Probably not. Like, we spent some time here chopping, putting a high. We have a move up that looks like we're going to take out this high. We fail, right? So we're rejecting this level right here really strongly, the 59.60 level. Boom, we get this big move down. You could just enter there. That's a hindsight trade, though, because I can't tell you that, that this is going to be just for sure not going to rebalance, but a very strong chance that after you get this move down with all of this all this liquidity here. You go break even or take some profit underneath these lows, you hold lower, right? So if you do take profit underneath these lows and you go break even, you would have, boom, banked on the trade, and then you wouldn't have got stopped on the runners, and the runners would have banked. So it's just like one of those things, though, again, if I took that trade live, it doesn't make any sense because it's like, okay, that's just a chase. Like, we're chasing this. I need more structure. But in hindsight, you know, it's really nice. And price delivery was super, super one-sided. And again, I keep bringing up the fact that this was similar to a day that I've seen before, and a day that I actually went on crazy tilt, and I end up not losing the day, but I should have lost my entire account. And I'll show you guys those stats, and it's ugly. So we end up just holding every PD array, right? This 5-minute order block we end up creating. We didn't bounce off it, I guess. Maybe a 3-minute order block. 3-minute order block holds. Nothing super, super crazy anywhere else. But we have this fair value gap. We trade to fair value gap, dump, right? Trade back to the midpoint of this move, hold, dump, right? Hold this order block here, dump, right? And we keep displacing. After this point here, right, I could see why people lost on this long here. I didn't take this long. Why? I didn't like the speed, and I didn't like the fact that this looked really bearish, and it looked like July 29th. So I avoided a loss today using past experience. So this is a long I would almost always take. An IFVG after resweeping a low inside a 4-hour and 1-hour gap, right? If we look at this 4-hour gap, we were inside this bullish gap. We had a 15-minute gap, or we had all these lows swept, right? So this is a loss I would normally take. I would normally take this trade right here. I would get in long, and I would be risking 18 points. So it wouldn't have been the biggest loss ever. I've been targeting this high. I wouldn't have been targeting the all-time highs. But the reason why I stayed out of this trade is simple. It's the fact that I anticipated us to be bearish after this move. I did not think that we were going to go sweep out these highs yet. Why do I say yet? Well, because we swept lows, but we didn't sweep any significant lows, right? The Asia low, the session lows. We didn't sweep any of the session lows. We had a lot of liquidity built up, and we've just been moving up since yesterday's New York session down here. So I expect us to rebalance to an area on the chart that makes sense, which to me is underneath these lows, right? This is where we kind of put in a base level, right? And like if you just kind of like eyeball this, you know, like I'm just going eyeball test. Okay, straight up. I don't really need to see all this straight up move get rebalanced. I don't. I just need to see this sideways, the Asia session get rebalanced. And that's what we do. So we're looking. Okay, where are we going to get the trade? Okay, cool. We get along here. We get a nice rejection. I don't know if I want to take that rejection. Why? Because we are displacing now. If we look at the 15-minute, this is where I want to bring up the past, the January 29th or July 29th. Look at these rejection wicks off the all-time highs. There's nothing to the left of us. We opened at all-time highs. If price was really bullish early in the morning, we would not be making this type of rejection right off market open, especially on the hourly. You can really see the rejection right here, right? This is a very, very strong rejection, right? This is a very strong rejection wick. We trade up, and 10 a.m. closes bearish. So I can already expect that when you have a wick like this, just like we're putting it down here, I don't expect that this wick is going to be very easily traded to without some bigger reason. So this liquidity sweep now is not that important, right? Sweeping out these lows no longer as interesting as sweeping out all of these lows, right? Because these lows matter a lot more. It's where a lot more people have gone long. Not many people went long right here. So I'm anticipating a better probability when we go beneath these lows. So that's the idea. There's also a new day opening gap below us, and this massive imbalance. This 4-hour gap right here that we're delivering out of as well. So there's so much confidence to go lower, is which kept me out of the short, or kept me out of the long that would have lost. So why do I keep mentioning January 29th, or July 29th? My bad. Well, I want to go and take you guys over to January 29th, and I can see it on my chart right here. I want to go and pull you back here, and I want to show you guys this. Look to the left of us. Absolutely nothing. Does that remind you of something? Yes. Where we're at right now, there's nothing to the left of us. What happened at market open that day? Well, we had a very, very strong rejection wick on the 30-minute above all-time highs. So what did this make me do that day? Well, I want to show you guys my account that day. If we go here, this was one of the days that I talked about going on tilt. And I'll show you guys what happened. July 29th. Oh, we made $6, right? Break-even day, right? No. Look at these stats. Negative 670. We should have blown this account. We made it back. We were longing, fighting the trend, and then we made it back shorting. Absolutely horrible stuff. The first day in months that broke my rules. I could have ended on a $147 loss. That was the first trade of the day. Nothing wrong with losing. There's nothing wrong with losing. I'll show you guys the loss I took. And I should have been done for the day because, again, at this point, I had been following one trade a day very, very well. But what happened? I couldn't accept the loss. Tried the long again. And then tried the long again with bigger size. And then I actually took some good shorts, but with too big a size, right? So that's the day where we got very lucky. But we'd been following the rules perfectly all month, right? All month, just perfectly. Since the 16th of June, following our rules, one trade a day, sticking to the plan. Boom, one day could have thrown it all away because I fought the trend, and then I used that, though, to learn from my past experience. Look at this chart right here, and then notice how we don't sweep highs. Don't sweep high. Don't sweep high. Don't sweep higher. Don't sweep higher. Don't sweep higher. Don't sweep this permanent high. Don't sweep this one. Now we flip this one. That's why you can start looking for longs, is because we're getting that breakout, and we already swept Asia low, the objective. So, saying a lot of like really technical stuff. I mean, just stuff the way I read the market. So what do we see here on this day? Well, again, very similar. We have a very strong rejection when we open at all-time highs. Price was opening near the all-time highs. We push up off open, Judas swing, get a very big snap down. And what was I doing at this point? Well, oh my gosh, all-time highs. I'm going to keep longing, long until proven otherwise. No. So what did I do? I want to break down this day here. So this is live, right? This is the market opened. Boom, closes really low. So what was my first trade? After, again, we have this clear rejection, we have this Asia low down here with the new week gap. As at the same time, this new week gap could get traded to. We had Monday, it looks like. So Monday manipulated lower, filled the gap. Tuesday distributed, and then we're in Tuesday as well. So what were we looking at here? So we have London low as well below us here. And then, yeah, so kind of want to get rid of this now. So cool, what happened? So we have a very, very V-shaped flip, right? We have market open, bullish, all-time highs. Oh my gosh, it's all-time highs. It's going. We drop down. Oh man, we really dropped down. Okay, so what's happening here, right? This circle was that rejection wick, and this is what it looks like on the 1 minute. Keep this in mind. Look at this chart. Do you really expect when the 30-minute looks like this type of wick, snapping back down, showing that the market does not want to trade above here, right? Does not want to trade above here. Wicking. Really strong wick. Snap down, close bearish, right? Do we really want to trade higher above all-time highs, right? When you see this type of V-shaped recovery, you just need to know that this is not going to be retraded to immediately. It got retraded too because we're bullish. We're at all-time highs. Of course, we're going higher. But you're not going to just immediately remove this entire V-shape, right? You're not just going to blow past this fair value gap. And the thing is, this would have been a better long, and I didn't take this. It would be better when this flips because this won't flip. I could be wrong, but this should not flip if we were bearish, especially not a 2-minute gap. This 2-minute gap should not flip. You can only look for longs if this thing flips, but let's keep the 1-minute gap there and see what happens. So what happens? I don't take a trade, but in my mind, we just swept out all this liquidity. We're inside of a 15-minute gap, right? Oh, this looks good. And this does look good, right? We close back inside the range right here. The 15-minute closes back up. We have this gap. We're at all-time highs. But why is it just not a good trade? Well, because there's just one high above us, right? There's one high above us right here, one high, and it's very V-shaped off all-time highs with a very strong rejection wick. Do I really think that we're going to just immediately pump up because we had a low move down? No, right? So what did I do? We waited, we reswept the low, and then boom, we got an IFEG right here. I took this long. We had an SMT here, I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. SMT here, we reswept. We have these highs. I was going to go break even there. And then what happens? We never sweep the highs again, and we get stopped out. Is this the worst ever trade? No. I'm not disappointed with taking a loss here. I am not disappointed taking a loss here. I want to say that one more time. I don't mind taking a loss here. Why? Go break even, take some profits there, go break even. I don't mind this loss. Why? Because it could work. It's a good trade. Mechanically, we have an SMT. We reswept the swing lows on the 1 minute. We are bullish at all-time highs. We're delivering from a PD rate. We swept out all this liquidity. I don't mind this loss. What has to happen after that? You move on for the day. Because guess what? You're not seeing price right. You're wrong. You can be wrong. That's the whole point of trading. You can be wrong and still make a lot of money. But what can you not do? get married to your bias. So what happens? Price keeps going, and then I convince myself, well, we just reswept one more time. Let me get in here. And I get in. I can't. If I remember correctly, it just chops and chops and chops. Chop, 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 chop. It goes up. Boom. Okay, maybe we're looking good. Oh, we're looking good, right? Chops again. I think it chops more. No. Yeah, it doesn't. And then stops me out, right? So now we lost twice. Trying too long a clearly bearish market because we're failing to take swing highs. At this point, I shouldn't have taken this reentry. I should have waited until we got confirmation above these highs because we are bearish until proven otherwise. So what happens? We are delivering lower and lower and lower to Asia low, right? So we actually do end up sweeping Asia low, but then we actually really dumped this day. We dumped all the way down to a low of week, I'm pretty sure. I can't really remember, but so we dumped the Asia lows, and then I can't remember where my third long that I lost on was, but it's probably here. But notice how this fair value gap that broke these swing lows never got traded back above. This is your context to keep going long. So not sure where my last long was, probably some stupid long, and then it just kept selling and kept selling and kept selling. And I'm pretty sure my short was, I'm pretty sure I shorted here to get lower because I expected the low of the week, but I'm not exactly sure. But regardless, my point still stands. Why was this day such big learning to recall back on? Well, and we made equal lows here, so I'm pretty sure we come back down there. I would be surprised if we didn't. Let's go 5 minute. Well, what was the reasoning, right, behind this day? And again, I say this. Look at all that liquidity built up. This is going to get ran. Boom. That's a short right here. I mean, obviously I know that this day played out like that, but like, you can't tell me that when we get this close right here and we're running all these lows that we're not going to run these lows. This is such a free trade. 1-to-1. But okay. Anyways, what was it about this day specifically? Like I said, I don't mind taking this loss right here. We were just wrong. I should have waited for the 5 minute break. Way better entry. Why was it not a big deal that we lost? Because you're going to be wrong sometimes. You're going to see the market wrong. You don't have to shoot 100% from the free throw to be a good free throw taker, right? So to be a good trader, you don't have to be 100%. Price was also choppy here. We ran up, dropped down, and we got really choppy. But I digress. I started over trading. I kept fighting it. I tried the long again and then again, and I lost a lot. I lost a lot, lost my head, lost all composure, and made it all back shorting out of this 5 minute gap and then somewhere else, I believe. But the point is, I shouldn't have been doing that. Take the loss, move on, learn from it. So we did learn from it, though. So we did learn from it, even though we got away with one. We didn't do what we were supposed to. We got away with it. But we learned from that day, and I remember seeing this day, and it really stuck out today. And I was like, wow, today is a carbon copy of that. A carbon copy. And we're just dumping lower. See? Don't fight the day, right? Again, I'm not trading my real accounts. I wouldn't take these up. They look good for reversal, but when you're bearish, man. You can't do anything about it. It would be much better. Watch, I'll make all my money back taking a short right here with 2 contracts.
Order filled.
I'll make all my money back, all my loss back on this short right here. Boom. Right? Stop loss here. I mean, I say that. I'm just going to chop around the rest of the day. Forget the claim. I have a good educational point to make for us today. So here we have this rejection, all-time highs. Is it wrong to take a loss longing? No, you're not going to be right all the time. But once you see something, you need to remember it and you need to learn from it. That's the whole thing with trading. It's like I've been seeing myself make better decisions a lot from just recalling past losses or past mistakes or past learning lessons. This is why you journal. This is why you prepare. This is why you watch the charts every day. It's to gain real experience. So then when I saw today what we were doing, when I saw this 30-minute candle, but mainly this hourly wick, right? I could tell myself, when did this first trade setup happen? After 10. So we already got the privilege of seeing the big wick on the 10 a.m. candle. We weren't making new highs. We weren't displacing through this fair value gap. That's the one that matters, not this one, right? That's the key to this trading game, is realizing and remembering from previous days, previous mistakes, and learning from it. I learned from that day, and then really early on, I could start framing, hey, This is very, very bearish, especially when, I mean, obviously when we close down here, it looks bearish. But when the 15-minute candle closed below these lows, or it closed like this, I can already anticipate that this day we're not coming back up here for the time being, and we're going to keep dumping, right? So that was really all I want to talk about. I feel like I didn't explain it well. It makes sense to me, but I'm just trying to emphasize the fact of it's okay to not take a trade, but you have to have reasons why you're okay not taking the trade, right? I wanted to see Asia low at this point, but I didn't get a trade because I didn't get an IFTG. A really, really nice trade would have been right here, right? Because what happened? We failed to take out a new high, and we got a really strong closure. This is a beautiful trade. It's not my model, though, so I'm not going to take it. But this is a very, very, very good short. Good risk reward. You have your stop at this high, and you could target the new day gap, the new day high, or whatever, or Asia low if you want to be that guy, if you want to be a big baller. I don't really care. Or you could just be plain and simple, get a 1-to-1. I really don't care. Do whatever you think you want to do there. But regardless, this trade sprints because we have this built up liquidity and we have a breakout of it. This is a clear rejection. We're clearly going lower. We clearly don't want to react off these lows because it would be immediate. If we were going to go higher, it would be right here. So since we didn't get that, you can anticipate lower. And that's all trading is. It's just you start anticipating things because you've seen it enough times. You've seen things happen. It's like, okay, I can anticipate that this is what's going down. And, you know, yeah, we didn't take a trade today, but we also protected ourselves from taking a loss here. I'm sure a lot of you guys took this loss. And that's the whole point. I don't make enough talking about like the actual charts, I feel like, these days. But today, I think we did good talking about actual analysis of charting and reasons, thought process. And that's, dude, people think I'm just a babbling idiot, I feel like sometimes. I have a lot of screen time on these charts. I have a lot of experience trading. I have a lot of know-how on these charts and how to read the conditions and what I want to see and what I don't want to see. And it's starting to help me out and starting to pay dividends and starting to get better. So, yeah, it's cool every once in a while to talk about the actual charts instead of just emotions and trading and dollar amounts and whatever, because this is the cool stuff. I'm a nerd about this stuff, man. I really am. I really nerd out on this stuff. I love trading. I love getting better. I love improving. I love reading the candles. I love trying to do this, man. And that's the key. That's the key, is just really love what you're doing. And yeah. So on a personal note, man, we're back to coaching. We're back to working. I got coaching tonight, tomorrow night, and then some stuff this weekend. And it's cool, man. We're going to get some money to come in, which might help us trade a little better. Who knows? But I'm excited, man. I really think that we're on a real upswing here on this channel, on my trading and my life, and we're going to keep going, man. Keep riding the wave, keep the momentum going. And yeah, that being said, man, Florida's getting some waves. If you're on the east coast of Florida, we're getting some waves this weekend, really. And Monday through Wednesday is going to be bad. It's going to be nuking, as they say. So I'm excited for that. Also excited for, you know, professionals, the Prem coming back, La Liga, Champions League soon, right? All the sports coming back, NFL starting soon, man. It's an exciting time to be alive. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you're going to get a code or an account with Apex, it's till the 14th. They have an 80% off, so definitely make sure to get some accounts before 80% off goes away. But if you miss it, they'll run other codes or other discounts at some point. Alpha Futures, the Zero Plan is an unbelievable account. I'm probably going to get some of those whenever I get a payout. But yeah, I appreciate anyone that uses code Diego on Alpha Futures or Apex. Always just plug that, you know. Help me out. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know how you guys did today in the comments. Did you guys catch the shorts? They looked amazing. I didn't get them. Did anyone get burned on the long, specifically this one? And if you did, really, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's a good long. It just a day that just didn't work out, right? So don't get discouraged on losses. Keep showing up, keep putting in work, and we will all see results, man. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that tune into the videos and watch to this point in the video. I will see you guys tomorrow, man, and hopefully we can have a great day. Peace out.